So Noah says, first, what was it like setting up? And that's what I'm really interested in too, around, did it all start at the same time, or was there one first and a focus? And then, was the Yasser then the same Yasser we've come to know now? And almost what would Yasser now say to a Yasser starting up in business?
So I came to Ethiopia, I came back to Ethiopia in 1998. My career was very, very different in the US. Nothing like what I do here now. I moved here and I was employed at Cactus Communication by the shareholders. But then on the side, I started a little publication called What's Out. And it was a one-page, two-fold newsletter that promotes arts and culture. This was in 1998. That's about 20 years ago? 20 years ago. And I was only 12 then. I don't appreciate the laugh. And I had the back page. I wanted to sell the back page to an advertiser so I can publish my two-page newsletter. My one page was two folds, because really there wasn't much happening 20 years ago in terms of arts and culture. We did not have Bake and Brew and this amazing, event then. So we had a difficulty even filling that one piece of paper. But I went to an advertiser that will remain unnamed, and I asked them, would you advertise on the back page? They said, sure, we'd love to advertise. They said, how much? The printing of it was about 3,000 birr, and I thought, if I can sell 3,000 birr, I can have a profit of 2,000 birr every month. That's 24,000 birr a month, which is a lot more money then than now, 24,000 birr, but not much even then. And they agreed instantly, no negotiation. I was so happy. I said, you know what? You can have that price forever. They said, forever? I said, forever and ever. And ever. You can have that. As a matter of fact, you can also be exclusive. They said, for real? I said, yes, you're the exclusive advertiser for 5,000 birr forever and ever. We signed a document, and I still have that contract. The client was the Sheraton Addis. So, 20 years later, what have I learned? That I was a dumbass then. You don't do stuff like that. So I was not deliberate. I was not in the moment thinking what's right, what's wrong. If I was in the moment, I'd think deeply. I just did everything wrong. A year later, our printing cost went up to 7,000 birr. That's when I realized this can't be right. So I went back to them. I said, can we renegotiate the contract? They said, sure, we'd be happy to renegotiate the contract. Now, you'd think in a year I'd learn better, right? No. They said, what? Can we make it 8,000 birr forever and ever? So I had a 1,000 birr profit. They said, sure, Yasser, if that's what you like, sure. And they did sign it until the following year. Eventually, we changed the contract, and What's Out has 300,000 birr worth of advertising every single month. But I've learned my lesson, which is just be aware. Now, for your information, 3 years later, we were able to save 50,000 birr from What's Out. That's the 50,000 birr I used to open Serenade the restaurant. Serenade restaurant, within a year, saved 180,000 birr. That's the 180,000 birr that opened the first lime tree. Lime Tree ran for about 10 years, and I was able to save $500,000 birr, and I opened 5 lime trees. Now, the Lime Trees in Sereni, the restaurants, 20 years later, is 58 million birr turnover that started with 5,000 birr forever and ever. Does that answer your question? So the lessons learned, you got it, and where I was, where I am now. And now I'm just older.
That's super, super helpful information and hugely insightful. Great question, Noah. Let's hear one from you. So 2 brilliant, brilliant questions. First,
I hate them both.
do you? Well, I'll share them. And the first was, who is your role model? And then the second was, 100 years from now, those that are born 100 years from now, what do you want them to say about Yasser?
So I'll answer the first question, and I'll try to answer the second question. How about that? So role model through my childhood was my father. My father was a great man. He died very young, at the age of 50. He was brilliant, and that's all I can say. In terms of how I'd like to be remembered, I don't care. Once I'm dead, I don't care how I'm remembered. Who cares? I'm buried. I will live my life to the fullest. I will have the time of my life right now, and when I'm dead, bye-bye. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, maybe we can hear maybe 2 more. So we'll do okay, maybe a few more. But okay, one at the back. We'll take one from upstairs here. Okay, one over there, and then we'll come back together again. So the question is, what was the challenge setting up here in Ethiopia? Thank you, Abra.
Wow. I have only one thing to say. Wilina masraja. I kid you not. Wilina masraja 20 years ago is nothing like Wilina masraja today. Today they're efficient, today they're fast, today they're good. I even deliver cookies to them. 20 years ago, to get a simple business license was 3 to 6 months. You can get a business license in a day today. Do you know this? If you're fast, in a day, without having to do anything funny or corruption or kickbacks, without doing anything, you can get a business license quickly. When I was helping in opening an organization called Shama Publishing. It took us 6.5 months to open it. So those were the challenges. Now you have it easy.
Some people don't agree.
For some people, that is. Compared to 20 years ago, for real, come over here. Come closer and say that. Come closer.
Our friend up here wants to set up a wine bar restaurant, and we together are going to help him with Yasser leading the way. Go on, Yasser. What's the...
I'm interested in hearing about his challenges in terms of getting supplies.
Great. So around supplies and ingredients, it's not always easy, particularly maybe if you need to import goods. So Yasser, what's your advice?
Well, I tell you, 20 years ago, sorry, I didn't catch your name? Daniel. 20 years ago, it's very different from today. 20 years ago, we could not find a lot of goods, a lot of products in the supermarkets. So we struggled. And so we had to import a lot of things. Today, it's very, very different. Even with the Forex shortage, we still have supermarkets that have many things we need. The only way to overcome that challenge is develop a menu with ingredients that are readily available. An ambitious menu has ambitious challenges. So that's all I can say. Wouldn't you say that as a restaurant owner?
I would agree, yes,
Yeah.
sir. I would really agree. It's very true. let us hear, okay, from here, and then we'll draw over there, and then I think we'll come near. A very good question around, is it best to start with one company or several companies? And I guess especially here in Ethiopia, you find that there is opportunity to have several things going on. Is it wise to have several or a few, and what's your advice?
Well, I have two pieces of advice. Can you just come to the front, please? So one advice, start with one company. Second advice, you need a hat like that. This is the coolest hat. Come on up, come on up. Yeah, this is a cool hat. If you don't have a hat like this, your chances of failure is very, very high. And right now, I see a room full of failures, except for one person. Yeah, one. Yeah, just one business at a time, you know. Start it, make sure it's working. Don't make the mistake of starting two businesses when you're a startup.
That's brilliant advice, and congratulations on your success as well with the startup. That's brilliant. And your hat, yeah. I said Ishi, Zaga. Great. So Yamlak Sarah has set up a manufacturing business. They're doing clothing, and her big question is, it's sometimes hard to infiltrate some of these cliques that have existed for many, many years, particularly in the Mercato area. And so when it comes to penetrating and reaching the masses, what should she do? And so that's a brilliant question.
Yeah, I know what you mean. God's work. Actually, there's one solution to that, and only one. USP. What's your unique selling proposition? What makes your product distinctly unique, distinctly different? The moment you have a USP, you have to understand your target audience. Then the match happens almost magically. But if you're duplicating or creating something that's already been created, then you have to fight with the clique to enter that clique. So the solution is get out of that clique. Start your own game with your own line, with your own look and feel that's so distinctly different that that clique has no choice but to come to you because you're the only one selling that unique selling proposition item. Right? You're welcome.
Great question.